What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bird, and we back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing. Smash the like button, smash subscribe button. Hop in the comment section, comment whatever you want. Of course, I'm dropping daily bangers day by day. You know we got news of the day coming out of Colorado, and we're going to jump right into it, dog. So, of course, we back with another recap with this Colorado football program. As we all know, yesterday was National Signing Day. Of course, we put together a phenomenal class. This 2025 class will be a legendary class without question. Of course, shout out, man, to our recruiting staff, our entire coaching staff. I mean, we've done a phenomenal job being able to put a super talented class together. Of course, we swung and missed on a couple guys. It is what it is. That's the nature of the business, but we hit home runs with the young men that we're bringing in, and I'm going to start from top to bottom. Of course, we got Julian Lewis. We all know about the five-star quarterback, 6'1", $185 out of Carrollton, Georgia. In that 2025 class, a top 10 national player, top 3 quarterback in the country, a special talent with an advanced skill set, mechanically clean, very comfortable in the pocket, those beautiful deep ball, nice tight, clean spiral, of course, calm under pressure, patient throughout his progressions, can extend plays with his legs. Experience, has been a starter since a freshman. Of course, he was Max Prep's National Freshman of the Year, Max Prep's National Sophomore of the Year. Of course, he put up some phenomenal numbers both of those seasons. He's just had an unreal high school career. Of course, he reclassed. He was supposed to be in the 2026 class, so he only played 3 years of high school football, over 10,000 career yards, well over 100 touchdowns. He's the third highest rated Georgia quarterback prospect behind Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields this century. I mean, this kid is an absolute stud. He won the most accurate at the Elite 11 camp this past summer. I mean, what he's been able to do at the high school level is just unreal. And of course, we have our successor to Shedeur Sanders. Our new QB1 is ready to take the reign here in Boulder, Colorado. And I can't wait to see this young man come in, develop into the NFL quarterback that he's definitely going to be in the future. It's going to be fun watching Juju. Let's keep it rolling, dog. We got Chauncey Gooding, 4-star interior offensive lineman, 6'4", 320 out of Nashville, Tennessee in that 2025 class. A top 10 interior offensive lineman in the country, a top 3 overall player coming out of the state of Tennessee, a top 185 national player, big and physical with a dominating presence at the high school level. Plays with really good feet, very strong at the point of attack, finishes blocks really well, moves great for his size, very good run blocker as well. A lot of pancakes on tape. I mean, you just see him pushing guys around left and right. Of course, we had to make sure that we bring in and continue to bring in dominant offensive linemen to, of course, protect our brand new quarterback. And of course, we've done that here with this young man. I mean, he has the ability to be able to come in and play right away. Of course, these guys got to come in ready to roll, ready to compete. But there's a lot of opportunities here with this Colorado football program. And we have a very, very solid offensive line coach with Coach Phil Lodeholt. Of course, in my opinion, he's the best offensive line coach in the country. Someone who played the game at a high level. At one point, Coach Lodeholt was the highest paid offensive lineman in the league. So, I mean, we are shown now, right, that we can develop offensive line. When you look at Cash Cleveland, Jordan Seaton, I mean, the list goes on, right? I cannot wait for this young man to get to Boulder, Colorado, and for Coach Phil Lodeholt to be able to get him under his wing. I mean, you look at Chauncey Gooding, dog. I mean, he had offers from all over the country: Michigan, Oregon, Auburn, of course, Oklahoma, Tennessee, South Carolina, Mizzou, Clemson, Georgia, all over the nation. He was the offensive line MVP at the Under Armour Nashville camp. He's a stud, man. Can't wait to see him. Let's keep it rolling. London Merritt, 4-star defensive lineman, 6'3", 255 out of Atlanta, Georgia in that 2025 class. A top 5 defensive lineman in the country, a top 60 overall player coming out of this 2025 class. A versatile defensive lineman that has the ability to play inside or on the edge. Plays with really good hands, moves really well for his size, caught touchdown passes at tight end as a junior. Of course, good short area quickness and the ability to change direction, good dip and bendability. He also has a track background, right? In 2022, he ran a 12.48 in the 100-meter dash, a 25.93 in the 200-meter dash at Woodward Academy in 2023. Had 31 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 11 quarterback hurries, and 5 sacks. Of course, he transferred to IMG Academy in 2024. And this young man, super excited for him. Obviously, right, we all know at one point in time, this young man was committed to Ohio State. Obviously, he flipped his commitment. He was a part of the 4 men, the 4 for 4 that we had on Nightcap with Shannon Sharp. Of course, he was a part of that crew there. He flipped from Ohio State to this Colorado football program. great get here. I mean, absolutely great get here. This is a young man that's super athletic defensive lineman that can do a lot of great things. And like I said, man, when we bring in high school kids, man, we're expecting you to play right away. We don't sign huge high school classes. We know we attack the portal a lot. So the high school players that we bring in, we expect them to be able to be ready to roll and contribute right away. And this is one of those young men, man. This kid is a dog, man. I can't wait to see him in black and gold. Let's keep it rolling. We got another one here. Adrian Wilson, 4-star wide receiver, 6 foot, $170 out of Pflugerville, Texas. In that 2025 class, a top 35 wide receiver in the country, a top 40 overall player coming out of the state of Texas, a top 275 national player, a speedy playmaker at wide receiver, good short area quickness and long speed, gets in and out of breaks really well, a high pointer of the football, has a track background also. In 2023, he had a really great season as a junior, 60 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 14 touchdowns. He started off hot at the beginning of the season this year as well in 2024, and he continued to roll. I mean, he put up some great numbers this year also. Once committed to Oregon, of course, then he was recently committed to Arizona State, decommitted from the Sun Devils. Of course, he, not too long after that, received an offer from our Colorado football program, and then obviously he committed to this program. I'm super excited for this young man as well. A lot of speed, a lot of playmakers that we're bringing in at the wide receiver position. Obviously, right, we're losing our top 4 wide receivers when you look at Travis Hunter, when you look at LeJontay Wester, Jimmy Horn, Will Shepard. So obviously we had to bring in some talented wide receivers, and we got a few that are going to be coming in that can really make some plays, dog. Be excited, Buff Nation, because we got another one here in Quanell Farrakhan Jr, 4-star wide receiver, 6'2", $180 out of Houston, Texas, in that 2025 class, a top 40 wide receiver in the country, a top 40 overall player coming out of the state of Texas, a top 300 national player, a nice sized, versatile athlete that can impact games a multitude of different ways, scored multiple touchdowns at wide receiver, running back, and in the return game as well. Good speed and abilities, smooth, natural hands, great vision in space, clean route runner, tough to tackle, very physical after the catch. I mean, he had a very solid junior campaign, 60 catches, 921 yards, 15 touchdowns. He had 7 rushing touchdowns, a punt return for a touchdown, a kick return for a touchdown, multiple interceptions on defense. He had over 1,400 all-purpose yards as a junior, and he picked it right back up where he left it off this year. As a senior, he's been dominant in the state of Texas. Like I said, this young man is super versatile, can definitely use him in the return game. He's even hinted at the possibility of being able to play both ways. Of course, you know, we have the blueprint here at Colorado when you look at what we've done with Travis Hunter and what Coach Prime is able to do and how he's able to manage a player that has the ability to play on both sides of the football. He's legit at corner as well, too. Of course, his upside obviously is at wide receiver. But if he's able to dominate one side of the ball, you could possibly be able to see him on the defensive side of the ball as well. It's going to be fun. Let's keep it rolling, man. Carde Smith, 4-star offensive tackle, 6'6", 295 out of Mobile, Alabama in that 2025 class, a top 25 offensive tackle in the country, a top 15 overall player coming out of the state of Alabama, a top 250 national player, an athletic offensive tackle who's consistently strong at the point of attack. His size and frame combined with really good play strength enhances his ability to win in the trenches, an aggressive drive blocker in the run game that has natural power, nice frame to add more weight on at the next level. Obviously, we all know this young man at one point in time was committed to USC. Obviously, we were able to flip this young man from the Trojans. He was a part of the 4-for-4 that we had, obviously, on the nightcap with Shannon Sharp. Super excited to have this young man come in. Of course, when he visited Boulder multiple times, he was there for the Baylor game. He was also there for the Cincinnati game as well. Of course, we rolled out the red carpet for this young man. Obviously, he was committed along with Julian Lewis to USC. So, of course, we were able to flip both of these young men to Colorado, and it's gonna be fun watching them grow. He's another one, man, that's gonna have an opportunity, man, to come in. It's gonna be a lot of opportunities for these guys, man, to definitely come in and contribute. Like I said, when we go get freshmen, we look for them to be able to play. And he's gonna have every opportunity too. Let's keep it rolling, man. Christian Hudson, 4-star defensive lineman, 6'1", 280 out of Daytona Beach, Florida in that 2025 class, a top 40 defensive lineman in the country, a top 50 overall player coming out of the state of Florida, a physical defensive lineman who consistently wins with leverage and effort. A lot of hustle plays on tape, a two-way standout that also got the job done at offensive line as well. Obviously, he was once committed to UCF He was at that visit when we played Central Florida, and obviously we flipped him not too long after that. This young man, active hands that allow him to disengage from defenders really well. An interior defensive lineman that still displays good agility. He just consistently wins at the line of scrimmage. Of course, he visited Boulder and he had a great time at the visit. I was able to see him in person as well. Definitely excited for this young man. Obviously, you see the development that we have at defensive line now, and it's going to be fun to watch this young man develop into a really talented player for us. Let's keep it rolling, dog. Manasseh Walker, 4-star linebacker, 6 foot 215 out of Beaufort, Georgia. In that 2025 class, a top 40 linebacker in the country, a top 45 overall player coming out of the state of Georgia. This is one of the most physical linebackers in this class. Reads quickly and reacts. He tackles extremely well. I mean, a very violent tackler. I mean, he's a thumper. Definitely gonna come up and hit you. Very instinctive. Of course, he was once committed to Michigan. Now he's one of the top inside linebackers in this class. He had offers from all over the country. Like I said, Michigan, LSU, Penn State, Missouri, Miami, Colorado, obviously, Ole Miss, Stanford, South Carolina. You could just roll out the schools. He had offers all over the nation. Obviously, he ended up committing to this Colorado football program. Excited for Manasseh Walker. Of course, we have some opportunities at linebacker, right? When you look at Nikai Hill-Green, when you look at Levante Bentley, of course, our 2 starting linebackers that we have right now in Boulder will, of course, be taking their talents to the next level. So there's going to be some opportunities, right, for him to get on the field early. And it's going to be fun to watch his development. Like I said, man, he's a tackling machine, something that you definitely need at linebacker. And he's going to have every opportunity to come in and work and get the job done. Be excited for Manasseh Walker. Of course, again, coming out of the state of Georgia, played some really good football in that state, and he's going to definitely get the job done for us. Let's keep it rolling, man. We got Antonio Branch Jr., 4-star safety, 6'2", $180 out of Miami, Florida in that 2025 class, a top 40 safety in the country, a top 60 overall player coming out of the state of Florida. Long, rangy, and instinctive safety who's physical and run support, tackles really well. Of course, he originally committed to Penn State. Obviously, we were able to flip this young man from the Nittany Lions, and he is coming to this Colorado football program. Love the size. Size is definitely verified. Definitely can get the job done. Solid in coverage as well. Displays natural hands. Of course, we're losing multiple safeties as well, too, when you think about Shiloh Sanders and Cam Silman-Craig. So he's going to also have the opportunity, right, to be able to step in and get some burn as a freshman. Now, think about it, right? These guys still have to come in and work, right? So I'm not saying that every last one of these guys will be able to come in and start, right? But there's opportunities for these young men to definitely get on the field early, because we got some guys that are leaving at all of these positions, and the guys that we're bringing in, man, these guys can really play, man. They're super talented, so it's gonna be fun watching their development and seeing how these guys are gonna transition to the next level. Let's keep it rolling, dog. We got Zayne DeSouza, 3-star tight end, 6'6", 260 out of Loveland, Colorado in that 2025 class. This is the number 3 player in the state of Colorado. He's a top 80 tight end in the country, a well put together and athletic tight end with a large catch radius. He's been clock running at 4.6 40, good hands and body control when making catches, a willing blocker with a strong initial punch. Some think he could honestly transition to being an offensive tackle in the future, but of course right now he's expected to play tight end in college. Now, of course, back in June, back in the summertime, he was one of the best performers at the Under Armour Next Camp in Utah. Physical off the line, whether he's blocking or going up against press. In 2023, as a junior, he averaged 17 yards per catch. Now, he's a dual sport athlete. He plays basketball as well. Of course, he was invited to our elite camp back in June, which led to his offer. And then obviously he committed to this Colorado football program. He raved about our facilities, how nice the coaches are, how nice our campus is. He mentioned our staff has a really good resume as well, too, and that we have a lot of talent in Boulder. And of course, he mentioned how well the coaches take care of you. We'll see exactly what his future will be, whether he wants to transition to being an offensive tackle. If he does, of course, he'll have to put on a little bit more weight. He'll be a super athletic offensive tackle as he does. But I really like him at tight end, though. I'm not going to lie to you. I like his ability to catch the football, and I like his ability to block and set the edge as well, too. I'm fine whichever one he wants to do. Let's keep it rolling. Alex McPherson, 3-star defensive lineman, 6'5", 250 out of Stuart, Florida. IMG Academy in that 2025 class, a top 100 defensive lineman in the country, a top 130 overall player coming out of the state of Florida, an athletic defensive lineman that plays with a lot of hustle and effort, relentless at getting to the football. Of course, Coach Prime always preaches that get into the ball. And of course, this young man has the ability to do so. Physical at the attack point, can split double teams well, plays inside a lot. You'll see a lot of 2-2-wide, 3-tech on tape. Versatile though. He has the ability to play edge as well. Obviously, he's coming from that IMG factory. That IMG to Boulder pipeline is definitely legit. Now, we all know this young man was once committed to Oklahoma State. He committed to the Cowboys back in June. We offered him on Halloween. He had offers coming from Indiana, Pitt, Michigan State, just to name a few. He was at that Utah game. I was able to see him as well. Two sides is definitely verified there. Of course, he definitely loves the direction of the program and the opportunity for him to get on the field right away. Again, he was, like I say, he was committed to Oklahoma State. So that's another flip, right? I mean, you're looking at, we're able to flip him. We flipped Antonio Branch Jr. from Penn State. Of course, we flipped London Merritt from Ohio State. We flipped Christian Hudson from UCF. Of course, we were able to flip, Juju technically and Carde from USC. I mean, the list goes on. Let's keep it rolling, dog. Quinton Gibson, 3-star wide receiver, 5'9", $165 out of Fort Worth, Texas. In that 2025 class, a top 150 wide receiver in the country, a top 160 overall player coming out of the state of Texas. Obviously, we made multiple videos on this young man. I mean, a speedster, dog, one of the fastest kids in this class. I mean, you're looking at lightning in the bottle, an explosive wide receiver that's highly productive. I mean, when he gets the ball in his hands, dog, you talking about a home run hitter, man. Listen, dog, he just got another gear. It is what it is. He just got another gear that other people just don't got. And you better get him before he gets going. Because if not, you're not going to run him down. You're not going to catch him, dog. I mean, like I said, 5-star type potential. Throw the stars out the window when you're looking at this young man here. 5-star type talent, 5-star type production in the state of Texas. Of course, he's put up some phenomenal numbers this year, right? I mean, you're looking at some wild stats, right? 253 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, obviously, he committed to this Colorado football program. Can't wait to get this young man in Boulder. Of course, through the first 3 games, he had 11 touchdowns, over 500 yards. You look at 4 games, 24 catches. Out of those 24 catches, 13 touchdowns. I mean, it's just unreal. It's video game like numbers that you see this young man was able to put up. 11 games during the regular season. He had 70 catches for 1,485 yards and 26 touchdowns. Now, he had a playoff game against Odessa. He had 6 catches for 175 yards, another 4 touchdowns. I mean, you're looking at over 30 touchdowns, dog, at wide receiver in the state of Texas. This is an absolute stud. Listen, I cannot wait to see this young man play, dog. I mean, LeJontay Wester 2.0, it's just going to be fun. He's going to fit so perfect in this offense. Of course, he's up, right, for National Player of the Year, and he very well might win that, dog. Quinton Gibson, man, listen, he is going to be a fan favorite. If it's not as a true freshman, it will be some point in his career because he is going to make a lot of plays and score a lot of touchdowns on Saturdays. Be excited, Colorado. Quinton Gibson is a buff. Let's keep rolling. Corbin Lasure, 3-star tight end, 6'5", 225 out of Bluff City, Tennessee. He's in that 2025 class, a top 35 overall player coming out of the state of Tennessee, a top 60 tight end in the nation. A nice size tight end with natural hands and the ability to high point the football. Also displays good athleticism after the catch as well. Makes contested catches in traffic. Very impressed with his ability to catch the football. A handful of extremely difficult catches on tape when he had to solely rely on his hands, contort his body in the air, and he still was able to make the grab. As a junior, he had a solid season, 64 catches, 774 yards, 10 touchdowns. He had a solid senior campaign as well. He's also a willing blocker, right? Multiple pancakes on tape. He also played a lot of plays at defensive end. Honestly, he's one of the best two-way players coming out of the state of Tennessee. As a junior, he had over 100 tackles on defense. Now, I don't think he's expected to play defense at the next level. I don't think he wants to. If he did, it's definitely something there for sure. Now, obviously, he would have to put on a little weight, right? And if he wanted to come off the edge, but I mean, you're looking at a super athletic tight end that definitely can come in and get the job done without question. I like the fact that we brought in 2 different tight ends. One's more of a blocker, the other one's more of an athlete, but they both can get the job done and catch the football. Last, but certainly not least, we have Gardenhire, 3-star offensive tackle, 6'8", 350 out of West Bloomfield, Michigan. This is the biggest player that we have in this class. 2025 top 40 overall player coming out of the state of Michigan, a top 145 offensive tackle in the country. I mean, you physically gifted, size and strength immediately jump out on tape. Long arms, decent feet, displays decent athleticism for his size as well. Played mostly right tackle on tape. He visited Boulder June 11th and the 12th. We offered him, and then not too long after that, of course, he committed to this Colorado football program. I'm really excited to see what Coach Lodeholt is going to be able to do with this young man. Again, 6'8", 350. The size is definitely verified. And I mean, he has something that you can't teach, right? And like I said, Coach Lodeholt, in my opinion, is the best offensive line coach in the country. And I trust in his teaching. I trust in his ability to develop talent. And it's going to be fun to see exactly what he's going to be able to do with this young man here. Again, he is coming from West Bloomfield, Michigan. Obviously, Brandon Davis Swain, who was a 4-star defensive lineman in the 2024 class, also came from West Bloomfield. He was helping getting Jay to Colorado. So obviously, this 2025 class is going to be legendary, dog. I mean, this is a loaded class. I'm super excited for each and every one of these young men coming in. Of course, we have 14 of them coming from the high school ranks, and you already know how we're going to attack that transfer portal. You know we're going to have one of the top 3 transfer portal classes in the nation if we don't have number 1. I mean, this is a hotbed now, obviously, for transfer portal recruits, transfer portal commitments. We've seen it here on, here out. Coach Prime is able to reel in guys out of that transfer portal, dog, and it's going to be fun to see exactly what this team is going to do in 2025. But not going to keep you long. Just want to bring you guys another phenomenal update. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, dog. Bird's Eye View, man.